We're now starting Sheets assignment number 3, and it's been a week since you've touched Sheets, so I decided to do a really quick, fast overview of some of the things we did last week to just help you remember some of those things. And then I'm going to jump into a new formula called the if statement, which will be new for some of you guys. So pay attention, because it might be a little bit longer today, but once again, this is a really important pivotal moment because you guys are going to learn the if statement today, and it could be difficult if you don't pay attention. So a quick review. I'm going to basically run through the instructions of the assignment that you guys have here, and I have Sheets 3 open in the assignments, and I'm going to be reading them, and as I'm doing them, I'm going to go pretty fast to format certain parts of this. So you guys understand that I'm not going to do everything for you, but I'm definitely going to do parts of it. So let's get started here. So for the first part here, it talks about we're going to bold and underline the spreadsheet title. Remember, this is the spreadsheet title, and notice down here, spreadsheet title also matches. That's part of the instructions. So we're going to bold and underline. So I go to bold, and then I go here to underline, and I go, well, no underline here. Remember, these are shortcuts, and so if it's not here, I can go to Format and Underline. Another thing I'm asked to do is to bold and then center. So remember, I'm going to highlight the cells that go with the spreadsheet. Up here on the shortcut toolbar, I have one that says Merge Cells. It's not centered. Then I'll need to go, once again, shortcut toolbar and choose Center. Those two commands I just did, remember, they're also underneath here as well. You can align cells and you also can merge them. So those two options there. Then these are the column headings. I'm not going to do it correctly the way the assignment does, but these are called column headings. Remember, spreadsheet title, Miller Ink sales, column headings. And so these are the ones that help us with the formulas, and they tell us which ones to use. So we're just going to italicize these, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to center line those. So italicize, center line. This is not like the book. I'm sorry, not the book, the example. I'm just choosing to do so. All right, so in the assignment itself, however, it has some formatting instructions, and I'm going to walk you through those formatting instructions, and I'm going to deviate a little bit because they're only showing you one way. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do the if statement. But just a reminder, as we're doing this, I'm going to pull this down, put it to the right, come over here, put it to the left. You may have to do it twice. My computer, for whatever reason, does it that way. And then I'm going to be right here. So I'm sitting here looking at these. Go down here, and we're going to talk about. So the first one, we're figuring out monthly commission. Monthly commission is multiplying. So multiplying is just, we're not going to, well, you could use the product. You could do one or two ways, but we're going to multiply the number of iPhones sold by the commission. Now, I didn't use iPhones. I said number of items made. It'd help if I spelled made correctly, huh? Number of items made. So very similar to what they did, just different headings. But so we're going to take this and multiply times this. Now, if you go back down to your notes, what we talked about before, and you look at how to multiply, there's 2 ways. We can say equal cell times cell, or you can say equal product. Now, because they're right next to each other, either way would work. So I'm going to do it twice so you can see. So we can do equal and then the word product. Hit Shift 9 for the parenthesis. And the first cell, once again, remember, it's under number of items, or in this case for you guys, it would be under number of iPhones. It's B4. And we're going to multiply that by the commission per item, which is in C4. Hit enter. And another way we can do this is we can say equal. And apparently these people are making a lot of money. In fact, I want to show you guys something real quick. You guys want to know why we do formulas? I haven't shown you this because no one's going to make $40,000. We're going to give them 40 bucks, 50, and we'll give this person $90 per item. Look at what changed in the formula. That's the reason why we do these formulas here, because if the numbers change, then we don't have to redo everything because it's only looking at what the input is in that cell. That's what controls what's in this. That's when I told you guys when your teachers are able to do this kind of thing, we're able to look at it. We are able to look at that. But let's look at the separate way. The second way that I taught you to do this. We go equal. And once again, now I'm doing the next one, which would be B5 times C5. Either way works, or way you like better. It's pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to get to this part called bonus. So the bonus is going to be something where you have to pay very close attention. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this if statement and pull it over here real quick. Put it over here because I'm going to split it with you guys. I'm going to go over this real quick and explain the concept to you. And then we're going to take this concept and we're going to put it on an actual spreadsheet. So here's the concept. The concept is that equal if, remember everything starts with an equal. So if, so for instance, if I don't study for the test, if it's true that I don't study, then I will fail. I'm sorry, yeah, if I don't study, I will fail. But if I did study, I would pass. So there's a condition. The condition is what something is going on. I didn't study. If I didn't study, a comma, see that word then, I would fail. Otherwise, if I did study, which would make the statement false, I would pass. So once again, there's a condition, there's a then, something happens, there's otherwise something else. This is if it's true, the condition is true. This is if the condition is false. And the commas, I put them in red because they mean something. They mean a lot. So let's go over here to this bonus here, and we're going to use the one. The book has one. I'm sorry, not the book. The assignment has one, but I'm going to modify it just slightly. But the assignment talks about here, and I'll read it to you, and I'll just do a tweak to it. The assignment says this, and there's a hint, by the way. If the number of iPhones sold is greater than 300, comma, which means then, you get $1,000. Otherwise, which is the next comma, you get nothing. So let's go back and look at that real quick, and let's use what we just learned. We're going to give you $1,000 if you I'll say this. If the number of items made is greater than 11, then you'll receive a $2,000 bonus. Otherwise, you'll get a $1,500 bonus. So let's put this in context. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the first one. It's called numbers. And I want you to notice something here. No commas are in the number 1,000. We didn't put any commas because commas mean then and otherwise. And it would be a break and it would confuse Excel. So let's do this together. So I said equal if, shift 9. I said if the number of items made. So the number of items made is what? B4. B4 said is greater than 11. So what we're saying here is if I made more than 11, the next word is then. Then, remember, look at your notes. Then means what? Comma. Then the person would receive a $2,000 bonus. So we would write 2,000s 2, 1, 2, 3. Please note there's no zero because if I put a zero there, this is what happens. Don't do this. If you put a comma and 0, 0, now it thinks you're only going to get a $2 bonus because that's the otherwise. That's the second comma. So when you have numbers that require commas, we don't do it. So we put just 2,000. So once again, if the number of items made is greater than 11, is it greater than 11? Yes, it is. It's 15. They get 2,000. No, you don't stop there because we're going to do the whole thing. Now we say otherwise. That means if it's not true, they get 1,500 or 1,500. Then we go shift to 0. And then we hit enter. And lo and behold, they got a $2,000 bonus. And companies use this all the time to determine a whole bunch of things. So they're saying if the number of items made is greater than 11, this person gets a $2,000 bonus. Otherwise, they get a $1,500 bonus. If it's true, they get 2,000. If it's not true, they get that. And how do I know it's true? Because whatever is in B4 determines if it's true or not. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So we made 15, so obviously it's true. Well, what if I change this number to 10? If I change that number to 10, is 10 greater than 11? The answer is no. Then will that change my bonus? It did. Changed it to 1,500. So there's a condition. So that's one way of doing it. I'll change that back. Now we're going to talk about a second way. Now you could actually do formulas in here. So you can multiply, divide, all sorts of stuff you can do inside of here. So you can even put words and phrases, which we'll do in the last one. So same concept. We're going to go equal and then if, and then shift 9. We're going to say if the number of items made is less than 9. So the number of items made is less than 9. So what cell is number of items? The number of items, which is B5, is less than, and for those of you guys who really struggle with which way is less than, which way is greater than, less than would be if you take your left hand and you make the letter L, and you tilt it kind of sideways, that's a less than symbol. So it's less than 9. And I said the word then, comma, it's going to be their commission times 4%. A monthly commission times 4%. Well, I don't know where monthly commission is. Well, monthly commission is where? Right here. So monthly commission is what cell? B5. So we'd say, I'm sorry, not B5, D5. D5 times, and you can actually put 4, and then you can put the percentage. Let me go with it again. If the number of items made is less than 9, then you take the monthly commission and you multiply it times 4%. So monthly commission. Otherwise, what does otherwise mean? Comma. Otherwise, you'll take the monthly commission and multiply it times 2%. So the monthly commission, once again, is D5 times 2%. Now, for those of you guys going, where's he getting this from? I'm making it up because I'm trying to teach you the different ways of doing this. We first did numbers. Now we're doing formulas. And last, we're going to do words and phrases. So let's go back to this real quick here. Look at this again. If we look the cell B5, is a number in B5 less than 9? If the answer is yes, if it's true, it's going to say D5 times 4. If the answer is false, then it'll say D5 times 2%. In this case, is 8 less than 9? The answer is yes, so it is what? True. So it'll do D5 times 4%. And we hit enter and boom, 16. Now remember, if I change this number to 10, change that answer. And if you look at that, what happens is 10 less than 9. The answer is true or false. False. 10 is not less than 9. So then it was the monthly commission times 2%. So what happens here is this condition judges if the statement, if what we're doing here is true or false. If it's true, it'll do the first part. If it's false, it'll do the second part. Okay, we have one more to do. Now we're going to do words and phrases. Now, everything's the same except this. Instead of using numbers or formulas, now we're going to use words. Now, what you need to remember is you're always going to put quotes on here. So, for instance, if we had somebody who wasn't doing their job, and we were like, you know what, you're not doing your job. So if you're not doing your job, we're going to fire you. And if you are doing your job, we're going to keep you. So we first have to do this because if I don't do this, it will not work because I need this number. So I say B6 times C6. Okay. Because I need that number for a second there. So it will equal if, shift 9. So I'm going to say if the number of items made is greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to 9. So if the number of items is greater than or equal to 9. So how do we write that in? So it would be B6 greater than, well, how do I do the equal sign? Equal. So we can't do the line underneath it, but we can do that. Then what number I said? 9. So once again, if the number of items made is greater than or equal to 9, then, what does then represent? Comma. we're going to say quote. Now we're putting a word or phrase, and we're going to say get to work, close quote. You have to have the quotes, or Excel, or Sheets will freak out on you. They'll be like, what are you doing here? So we're saying if the number of items made is greater than or equal to 9, we're saying get back to work with quotes around it. You notice it's in green here. Then I'm going to go comma, or what does that mean? Otherwise, if it's not true, fired. And Shift 9. Note, once again, there's quotes around it. So, is the number in B6 greater than 9? Yes or no? Yes. So what response are you going to get? Get back to work or you're fired? Because it's true, it's going to go to get back to work. And you'll hit enter. It says get back to work. If I put the number 9 in here, didn't change. Why? Because the formula said what? Greater than or equal to, so it includes 9. You can also do less than and equal to 9. Okay. What if I said, well, they only made 8. We made a mistake that way. Oh, you're fired. Sorry, but thanks for showing up. Thank you for being there. So in a quick review on these formulas, I'm going to make this bigger for you. Quick review. We have 3 ways of doing it. That's why these notes are included here too. First way is we always make the condition. So the condition will always be based upon the column heading, remember, but we use the number. So I said if the number of items you made was greater than 11, then, comma, if it's true, they get $2,000. Otherwise, if it's not true, they only get $1,500. Okay. Second one, this was numbers. Remember, no commas in the numbers. I said, do not put commas in your numbers. Second one, if the number of items is less than 9, then, remember, then is a comma. This person gets a 4% raise. Otherwise, they get a 2% raise. And is 8 less than 9? Yes. So is it true? It is. And remember, those are all dictated on numbers. And lastly, words and phrases. What do we put around them? We would put around quotes around words and phrases. Quotes, quotes, quotes. And we said if the number of items made is greater than or equal to 9, then, which is a comma, get back to work with quotation marks. Otherwise, comma, you're fired. All right, so that was a lot to digest. So let's take this real quick and go up here, and I'm going to kind of copy what they did here. I'm going to read it to you, and we're going to try to do it together. So let me delete this real quick. Delete, delete, delete. Let's look at this together. So over here in this bonus thing here, and we're not going to use the 300, but I'm going to go over it real quick and see if you can kind of follow along with me. It says the monthly bonus is if the statement is true. If the number of iPhones is greater than 300, then the salesperson, then the salesperson receives a $1,000 bonus. Otherwise, they do not receive a bonus. So, once again, number of iPhones sold, that's not what you put in there. Remember, we're referring to the cell, like the 305. That's what we're talking about right here, the cell. So let's go back to here, and I'm going to use a variation of it. I'm not going to use a 300, but I'll use 12. So if the number of items made, equal if the number of items made, so it's again B4, greater than 12, remember the example said 300, then represents a what? Then represents a what? Comma. Then they receive how big of a bonus again? Oops, too far. They get how big of a bonus? Get a $1,000 bonus. Okay, I'll put 1,000. Do I put a comma in 1,000? No, I do not. 1,000. Otherwise, what does otherwise mean? Let's look right here. Otherwise, oh, another comma. Otherwise, oops, sorry, I wasn't clicked on this. Otherwise, they do not receive a bonus. When I don't get any money, I get $0. And I hold the shift 0, so I have that, and I hit enter, and voila, this person gets a $1,000 bonus. Will this person get a $1,000 bonus? Is 8 greater than 12? No. So guess what this person will get? Nothing. Do you have to type that in? Yes. Why? Because your teacher is going to be able to go like this and go, oh, they didn't do it or they did do it. Okay. So the last part is the total monthly pay. Total monthly pay is basically by adding the monthly commission and the monthly bonus. So your monthly commission and your monthly bonus. There's 2 ways of doing it. I'll just do the easier way. We can go equal sum, shift 9. The first cell is what? D4, shift semicolon or colon, and the second one would be E4. And hit enter, and boom shakalaka boom boom. There you go. So I know that was a lot to digest, but the if statements, if done properly, are really, really easy. Understanding the concept behind them makes it a whole lot easier. So if you're struggling, I put these in the instructions. They're the third slide down. You can use these. I gave you examples of how to do them. I gave you little hints like don't use commas in your numbers. Make sure you put parentheses quotes. These are going to come up again on another assignment. And ultimately also, when you're looking at this, you have a hint of even like kind of walking you through how to do it and how to make it look. So kind of do that. Now, at the end here, I'm not going to do all of the total average, highest, and lowest. You should be able to do that. Now, this is your third assignment doing it. Please make sure you do read the instructions. Remember, the shortcuts are all up here, and if they're not up here, you have the ability to go to format, and then you have, your number formats, you have bold, italicized, underline, strike through, you have font sizes, which you're not going to use, you have alignment, you have merging, you have text wrapping, you have all these things that we didn't even touch these, but these ones we did touch. So you should be able to do that. And the last reminder, I'm going to do this because I'm a nice guy, is for those of you guys who forgot how to do the whole print setup, remember you're going to go to File and you're going to go to Print, and all of that is right over here. So when we go to Fit To, we want to fit to page. When we go to Formatting, you go to here, folding. I believe I asked you to go center horizontally, and of course it's being weirdo. Center's down there somewhere. Center vertically. Then I close this up, and I went to header and footers, and I scrolled down, and I went to custom header, custom fields, and then I have the choice between my 3, and there's instructions on which 3 they want you to do. And then remember I said confirm. Oops, sorry. In this case, I'll just pick them real quick. So for instance, remember I said you can do like the sheet name, which is the spreadsheet title. You can do like the date. I don't care which kind of date you do. And you can even put your name or summer school or whatever class you're in. You can say, period 2, or you can say summer school, whatever you're doing. And you go confirm. And you go next. And you go, do you really want to print? And you go, not so much. So that's just a reminder. Make sure you're following the instructions. As you follow the instructions, this will be really, really easy. If you don't pay attention to that, it's going to get harder and harder. This is why we, our teachers, are going over this over and over again. Read. Make sure you follow instructions. Just go slow. I put it in bullets for you so that you can go step by step by step. These are easy points. Don't miss them. So once again, instructions, the if statement, and lastly, if you forgot any of your basic formulas, they're right here. So, and there you go. There are your examples for sheets number 3.